Hello everyone. Welcome to the third episode of the Unraveled series. Today we are going to learn about one of the most vital components of any programming language, functions. You would be wondering what functions are, as I have been focusing on it since the first episode, and today you are going to learn about it. So this is what a function looks like. It consists, like, for smooth functioning there are three major steps. First is obviously a declaration, although it is shown at the last, but I'll tell you why it is so. The declaration is the process in which we name the function with its type and also tell what the function will do whenever called. Then comes calling. Calling is simply the process that when we want to divert the flow of data towards a processing unit. Like, you can see function as a processing unit. And then is prototyping. Prototyping is the process of, it is also kind of calling the function, but it doesn't do anything. Like, it just tells our computer that okay, we will need this function, so keep it ready for use. I'll try to describe function in a short story. Like, whenever we are in first or second standard, at that time we are taught how to do addition, right? At that time we may be struggling or whatever, but once we learn it properly, after that, if someone suddenly comes and asks us, suppose the principal of your school comes towards you and asks, okay, tell me what is 1 plus 1 or something. At that time, your brain will first think of addition, and if you have practiced well, then there would be a part of brain that would obviously know what is addition. So your brain will simply call the data stored in that, you can say, container there. Okay, but here we call it function. So it will straight away go to that compartment in our brain, and then what it will do is it will take the data from there, that okay, it is done this way, then we'll answer it. In the same way is the functioning of these functions. So I'll tell you how they work using a flowchart. So as you can see, this is for the first type. Like, functions are of four types. Let me first tell those. First is with no arguments and with no return value. Argument simply means that we are taking the values from the user and also answering the, like, giving the answer value in the same function. But as we are using creating multifunction program, as main is also a function, so here we just call the add function, and here we are asking for the values and also answering it here only. So if you say it, this is how the flow of data looks like. We begin from main, and as we call the add function there, so we go to add. After that, add asks us for values which we provide. The values will again remain in the add function only, and then it will answer itself. Like, it will not send the data to main to answer. As you can see, it is answering on its own here with the printf statement. So now when we run here, so I'll write gcc nanr dot c and dot slash aexe. So if we give two values such as 10 and 40, it should give the answer 50, and it does. So this is how the no arguments and with no return value works. So let's close this program so that the screen has more space. Now comes with no arguments but with return value. It is same like the previous one, but here we would be sending the answer back to the main so that it can answer, like, it can give the answer. It is like in the previous one, we thought of it and we kept the answer to ourselves. Like when teachers ask from the entire class that you need to answer, many people are there who would know the answer but wouldn't speak. This is for those people. But this one is for those people who just think and also answer it. So here we are obviously calling the function, but there's the catch that here we are using it equal to a variable, and we are later on asking the computer to print that variable. So when it gets diverted to the add function, here we have given two variables a and b. We are taking the values from the scanf. You can also use scanf in this way, like I'm asking for both the values in one scanf statement. You can do it in two, but I occasionally keep switching between them. So as you can see here, we have given a return statement now. Just like I usually said you to put return 0, we have given return a plus b, and a plus b is simply what the answer of addition is. So when we send it here, res equal to add simply means that whatever the answer of add is, keep it equal to result. I have written that result but in short form. So now it will simply print it. To show its functioning, here it is. We obviously start from the main, and wait, not this one, it is this one. So we simply start with the main, then we go to add. Okay, and add asks us for values, so we go to value, and it is processed inside the add only, as a plus b was happening inside add function only. So it will give the answer would be with add, then add will send it to main, so that main can print it now, and main will provide the answer to us here. Okay, so now let me show you how it shows the answer when run. Enter, and then again. Now if we give the value such as 20 and 50, we get the answer 70, which is correct. So this was a working for with no arguments and with return value. So I'll close this one also. Now comes with arguments and no return value. This is vice versa of the previous one. Like in that, we were sending the answer to the main. Now we would not be sending anything to the main. Instead, we will send the values from the main to add function. There is a small change. Whenever we need to send arguments between functions, so we need to put this, like here we are sending numbers from one function to another, so we have put int. If we were using suppose char etc for transferring alphabets, then it would be different. So here we have declared a and b, then we asked for the variables. Now we have to send arguments, so it is done this way. Add, then in the parenthesis that is mostly left empty, we have to write a comma b, and here we have simply indirectly defined the variables. So we know that we need to use int only, so int x comma int y, which we also use here. Like we are using x plus y because when we transfer data from one function to another, we have to change the variable name also, and that is the only reason we have to use x plus y here. So data flow here is from the main we get the values. We need not keep the values within the main because main isn't going to process it. So we send those values to add, and then add simply gives us the answer. This graph could have been this way also. Like this has the status graph. So this is simply how data flow is in this one. When we are working with arguments and with no return value. So simply from main to values to add. In add it gets processed and then it gives the answer itself. I'll also show you by running it. So GCC wanr.c. Now I'll give it values such as 40 and 50. So we get the answer 90, which is correct. Now comes the last one. This is like when I told you about that how our brain would be finding the answer, etc. This is the nearest one that can be used to represent our brain. Because as a simple thing, you can see I have also written here in the comments. You can suppose that the main function is where we have been asked the question. Like as I said, suppose your principal came and asked you what is 4 plus 5 or something. Then main function is when you were asked. Okay. So the values were received in the main function. Then it was sent to the add function. Because you can say it was simply sent to the brain to be processed. So when it was processed, brain returned the value to our mouth so that we can speak. And printf here is the mouth. So it is responsible for giving the answer. And that's it. That was simple. Although its flowchart doesn't look simple. We begin with main. We get the values. Those values are then sent into add. And then from add, the values go back to main. So that the main can give us the answer. The add just has the responsibility for processing in this one also. Just like it had the responsibility to process alone in this one, which was the previous one with arguments but with no return value. So when we run it, like we can't see how in the back it works, but we can just assume that how it works. So WA.WR.C. In case you are confused that why I named the programs this way, this W simply means with, A means arguments, N means not, and R means return. So I just named it that. And if I give the value 3,911, so we will get 3,911. Okay, so simple as that. That was everything you need to know about the functions to use it properly. Okay, I would also like to inform you all that to resolve doubts of all the people, I've been working on a Discord server, which looks like this. This is my custom CSS, because of which it looks like this. Else, this is what I have made progress in my server. So it would be live soon. I won't say live, like it would be in working condition soon, and you can easily ask your doubts here. As you can see, I have created different channels for each of the doubts you could be having that I can easily resolve. Like here is for HTML, CSS, here is for JavaScript, here is for Java, Python, MySQL, and C and CPP. You would be wondering why I never uploaded about MySQL, Python, and Java. Those videos would be coming pretty soon. Also the CPP, which is C++. So those videos would be coming soon. Maybe I'll first end the series that I have already started, the 3 series I've been working with. So that's it for today's video. Subscribe to the channel for further updates. Like this video. Till then, bye.